What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kennelia back with another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. Beyonce don't owe me a thing, y'all. Y'all already know this is a Beyonce stan podcast, and not the stan like Eminem stan. Like my tea's gone cold. I'm wondering why. I ain't the video stan. Y'all remember this the Eminem video with Stan writing the letters and Stan going crazy. Now I'm not one of them. Okay, I'm not be on the internet going back and forth with other hives Stan. Okay, but Beyonce don't owe me nothing, and I say that because I went to that concert. I went down to the concert. Okay, I went over there down to the concert, and y'all had me a time. We had a time last night. It wasn't last night, it was earlier this week, but I went over down to the concert. Now, let me back up. Y'all know I was stressed about getting Cowboy Carter tickets. This was the first time that I felt like everything aligned. This is the first time that I wasn't all at the same time poor. And I'm not saying I'm doing okay, but there's been times in my life where y'all know I was in entertainment. I've always had a job, but the jobs were flexible enough to allow me to focus completely on entertainment. And with that, you not making the big bucks. So this is the first time that I haven't been all at one time poor without a Beehive pre-sale code, an artist pre-sale code, any code, and okay, or to the point where I know I'm going to a concert by myself, because back in the day, I felt like I always had to go with somebody. And I'll also add, I had people to go with to the concert in LA, but I was not chained to waiting on people for everybody's ideal concert date to line up, everybody's seat preference to line up. I could get me a ticket this year and the kind of ticket that I wanted. But as luck turns out, I didn't get the ticket that I wanted in Los Angeles. It was 5 shows out here, and I wanted Hold Down. I could not get Hold Down tickets. I did the Beehive code, the codes, Beehive presale, the artist presale. I did it all. Baby came out unlucky. And now, and I'm gonna jump forward and go back a little bit, but I'm jumping forward. Once I was able to secure tickets to Club Hold Down for Sunday, and seeing the amount of people in Club Hold Down, what I thought was correct. They were only selling a handful of tickets for each show because them sections was spacious than a mug. It was not a lot of people in there at all. They were not opening up a lot of tickets. So if you got Club Hold Down tickets the first round for LA, you are one of God's favorites, because you probably was one out of 50 people for each show, on each side, A and B. But we'll get to that later. I gave up. I was stressed. Okay. I was stressed. And I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to get a ticket whenever. Lo and behold, the Vegas shows popped up. And I get the email, hey, you get the Beehive pre-sale code for Vegas. So I forgot about it. And then the morning of, I got that another email, Ticketmaster or somebody like, hey, reminder, tickets going to sell today. So I said, you know what the hell? Let me log in and see what they talking about. Y'all, I logged in, was in there just goofing off, ended up with Club Hold Down tickets for Las Vegas. I did not want to travel to go to see this show. I was willing to go as far as Vegas. That was it. But because we're in your boy, the red hat economy, I am personally paranoid about a lot of things. And with the looming recession and knock on wood, whatever I'm going to do just in case, but with ports seeing a drastic decline in merchandise from overseas with the trade wars and the tariffs and all of those things, I have started to really position myself into a posture of not spending and doing the most. So I got the Vegas tickets, but I still was like, I don't want to go to Vegas. I'm gonna go. But when you couple buying a flight, you can get a cheap flight to Vegas now from LA. Now it ain't even that much. But then you 2 nights at the hotel, food and drink. I just didn't want to do it, but I was going to. So as we all know, the Vegas, not Vegas, the LA show started. They're here, and people having a good old time at the show. I done watched the whole show on somebody's Instagram or TikTok live stream, so I know what was up. But I always said to my friend groups and to anybody who was listening, if I find the same ticket in Los Angeles, I will go here and sell my Vegas tickets. So while I'm goofing off on Sunday, my day of relaxation. Okay, I'm in the bed late, child free. I can just stay in the bed. I'm on social media just looking around, looking at Cowboy Carter inspired outfits for July. And, I'm about to start washing my hair, just doing my own thing. I get a call from my friend Gary, and he's literally like, hey, there are Club Hoedown tickets available right now for tonight. Now, if you don't know anything about me at my old age, it takes me, if I have a plan, it takes me a long time to pivot and to do things sporadically and last minute. Now, if you would have talked to Kennelia back in like maybe '05 through maybe like '09, hey, drop of a hat, I'm ready to go. What time we got to be there? I'm in the building. So when he hit me up, I was literally scattered. I was like, yes, I'm down to go. Y'all, when I tell you I was running through my apartment like somebody done, like I was chasing a mouse or something. You know how you just be scattering and running around all over the place? I was literally scrambling because I still have to wash my hair now. I'm washing my hair. I had to do my hair. And that's going to take time because I got to wash it, style it, diffuse it, and fluff it up. When I tell y'all I ain't got ready that fast in years, got ready, put some makeup on, hair done, ain't had no outfit. Outfit was mediocre than a mug. I'm so disappointed. That's why I haven't posted no pictures on my Instagram timeline because the outfit was the bull. Okay. I didn't have time to put nothing together. I just threw on some Kendrick Lamar bell bottom pants looking like peekaboo. I just put them boogers in my chain and a vest and drove over down to the SoFi. But your girl made it and I was in the building. So let me tell y'all what it was like when I got there. First of all, if you, let me say this. I have been to concerts and I have sat all the way, all around the arena. I've sat in the nosebleeds. I've sat on the floor. I've sat in section 200, 300. I've done all of those things. I felt like this moment in time, I needed to have the experience of being in the pit, in the Beyonce concert pit. I know people who've been in there. I've never had the opportunity myself. So I know Auntie got them old legs, my back be hurting, but I needed to do it. And I highly recommend it if you want to be as close to the artist as possible. If that is a priority, 10 out of 10 experience. I had a 10 out of 10 experience. Beyonce, now there's barricades and things, but when I tell you, when she was walking down that little catwalk and whatnot, sis was stop, pop locking and dropping right in front of us. Okay. I'm talking about twerking, 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 twerking right there. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. She was right there. I did not, however, get to see, like, if you've seen pictures on Instagram or videos or TikTok or on social media and you have the aerial view of the stage, how the stage lights up, it's like shaped like a guitar. There's like all these things that's happening. I didn't see any of that happening on the stage. So if that is a priority for you and you want to see the entire all of the scenery and you don't care about only watching her on the big screens and not seeing her like in like up close, do not get Club Hoedown. Do not get Club Hoedown. Okay. I repeat, because you're not gonna see none of that. You're just gonna see Beyonce and them dancers in the big screen. You can't see the screen. It's really big. But overall, it was a fantastic experience. Club Hoedown, we had access to like the VIP food area where they had, it was their own bars down there and on its own food section. In Club Hoedown, there was a Sir Davis bar. So if you wanted to buy drinks, like Sir Davis in that like center area, that is where you do it. There was no bar in the honey pits. Only Club Hold Down had that. And child, the bar was literally right in front of Beyonce, like a pathway where Beyonce was singing and dancing. So you could literally be getting a drink made and turn around and her dancers gyrating on some chairs. I'm talking about 10 out of 10 experience. It wasn't packed. There was room to move around. People were dancing around. No place in that section was a bad view. So from this moment on, I will one consider always trying to be in the pit if that's gonna be the priority for me. Only at the Beyonce concert, because I ain't gonna do that at no rap concert. They be like it'd be like a mosh pit, and I'm too old for that. But I will also never again buy tickets during any of the pre-sales. I will officially be waiting to the last minute because also some of my other friends were telling me, Kennelia, stop stressing yourself out. Just buy tickets at the last minute because the prices dropped. I did not mention that. My club hold down ticket was cheaper than what I paid for during the pre-sale. And it was a cheaper price than during all of the sales because y'all know people were saying pre-sale prices were increased and they dropped down over time. This was the lowest price for Club Hold Down for at all points. So I will forever be getting my tickets last minute. Now let me talk about why Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album is so significant as it relates to this tour. Because a lot of people were saying, this country album isn't really their thing. And, she trying to gentrify country music and all of these conversations. But I believe last episode, I talked about a current Black Renaissance and how Cowboy Carter is a part of that. And this experience and what she did at this concert solidified that opinion. And for me, it put a stamp on it. So, one of the main things visually and throughout this entire promo run for Cowboy Carter, there have been um, moments where she has used the American flag, used what people call pro America imagery. And for the most part, a lot of people, me included, understood what she was trying to say and do, right? It was not this pro-America position. This album and the imagery represented a reclaiming of America from the Black experience and Black perspective, right? We are and have been and we are descendant of people who have been here on this soil longer than most, not including the Native American population. But when you think about white Americans and Chinese Americans and Arab, like all of these other demographics, it is likely that a large portion of Black Americans arrived on this soil in our lineage before all of these groups immigrated, including Europeans who came here for a better life, the Ellis Island group. But along the way, we have been made to feel like America is not ours. The American dream, the American story does not belong to us, that we are not American, that, all of the opportunity that should be afforded to people and the rights of this country and just everything that it entails, we're not a part of. And in actuality, we have more claim over America than anyone, not including the Native Americans. So if you listen to Cowboy Carter and you look at the imagery, to me, it was obvious. It's essentially saying, baby, this our shit. Here, we're going to do what we want to do, and we're going to wave the flag because it's ours. The imagery that she used in this concert, the visuals, the messaging, it was very, very clear that is exactly what she was saying. There was even one image, because if you ever been to a Beyonce concert, during each act and when she's changing outfits, she'll do like a video package of different kinds. For Renaissance, it was more like dance and pop electronic. This one, she had like skits. There were skits of her in a spaghetti western. There was a skit of her being like the 400-foot woman walking through cities. There was a skit of her in a bar and hitting somebody over the head in the bottle. There was one at her as like a peep show house. v- dope ass baby. Them the visuals. You know, we keep talking about where the videos at, baby. That was it. Okay, you saw him at the concert, and if you ain't been to the concert yet, that's you gonna see him there. But there was even one image where she was in her, the signature braids for the Cowboy Carter promo with a red, white, and blue sash on, similar to that Cowboy Carter sash that she's been wearing that says "Reclaiming America" or something. It was like reclaiming um the American experience, reclaiming America, but that literally told us exactly what she's been doing. Like people have been saying, it's literally reclaiming genre. A lot of the imagery was of Black people, Black country singers, Black rock and roll singers, Black blues singers, all blasted on this big screen. And if you know, the majority of Beyonce's audiences, yes, while it can sway Black, but depending on the city you in, this is full of white people, white and brown, people of all nationalities. And she's showing everyone this and telling them, this is our music. These are our genres. This is our history. And for me to see someone, and there are other, cool little packages of her showing her over the years and some propaganda, her talking about propaganda and how people in the news have been trying to discredit her. It's just real good, like how they put together. But if you think about being in this business of entertainment, a lot of entertainers and celebrities, whether they're singers or dancers or writers, creators, directors, actors, some never get to this point where they feel like they want to have the voice and the platform to speak up for Black culture, because that's what she's essentially doing. And for her to do that now and to be unapologetic about it and doing it in her way, I have the utmost respect for that. Because everybody be at home talking about what they would do and thinking if they were in a position they would do this. If I was her, I would be doing this. You wouldn't be doing shit. You wouldn't. What you're doing right now is what you would be doing if you had that level of access and fame and celebrity and money. So for her to have it and to be doing that, kudos, 5 stars, 10, 10, 10s across the board. Overall, with that, I had the best time. I was entertained, and it was just really made me emotional seeing that imagery on those large screens like that. I will say too, next, I'm hoping that she does do a rock album. As y'all know, the conversations have been act one, act two, and act three is going to be, certain things. And she's never confirmed any of this. But people out of nowhere have started to say, yeah, she gonna do rock. The next one is gonna be rock. Honestly, after getting Renaissance, where she reclaimed the dance and electronic genres back for us, and did the same with country, I really hope that she does do rock. I would love it if she came out with a pure old rock album, and rock of all iterations of Black music, because the rock we hear today doesn't necessarily sound like what rock and roll was during the Little Richard time period. But I hope she do the same thing, because as pissed off and as mad as everybody was about her coming out with a country album, it's time to do it again. So that's just what I'm hoping. Another thing that was very significant about this tour, baby, Blue Ivy is taking it. Blue Ivy is taking it. Last tour for Renaissance, we saw Blue Ivy start off being very timid and scared and not being as confident on stage. And towards the end of the Renaissance World Tour, she was up there killing it. Now, Blue Ivy is a damn background dance. She's a dancer. She's essentially a part of the entire show. She's not in every dance sequence, because if you've been to anybody's concert, it's basically the same dancers. They swap out dancers depending on which song and which act they're in. Maybe Blue Ivy she has a dance contract with this. She's probably getting paid the dancer rate. She had her own solo. She side by side with her mama. She in the background. She got her own. She doing the deja vu dance at the front of the stage. Blue Ivy is up there eating the kids up. And she's only 13. I don't know what, and none of us know. It's not our job to know. It's not our business, honestly, what Blue Ivy is planning to do or what her actual goals are. But I'm going to tell y'all this: if Blue Ivy can sing, it's over for y'all. It is over for y'all. Because one thing that is missing in entertainment today, and it's beyond nepotism. And personally, I love me some nepotism, especially Black nepotism. I love it. But artists aren't being developed anymore. We always talk about why some certain artists were so good and so talented. It's because they was putting through them old school boot camps with that mean mama or daddy that made sure that it was on point. Joe Jackson, Matthew Knowles. Say what you want about Britney Spears now, but Britney mama and daddy, especially her daddy, hey, they had her at the Mickey Mouse Club auditions and the rehearsals. Okay, Usher mama had him together. There was a through line of elite superstardom that historically used to start with the parents and the discipline. And sometimes all of the hard work that it took in those very early years, that does not happen anymore. Beyonce is literally, and Jay-Z, they're literally putting their daughter into artist boot camp in real time. It just so happens that they're not doing these little bootleg shows in podunk towns. She's doing arenas and stadiums. But if Blue Ivy can sing, I give her until she probably like 17. And if Blue Ivy pop out with an album by 17, be out here doing it, she ain't even got to be singing like her mama. Baby, she could be the next Solange. Who knows? She's taking it. And she gonna know the business because her parents are about that business. Hey, I'm excited for her. It was really like nice to see her have her moments to shine and come out of her shell and just grow up. She's tall and beautiful. It was just fantastic. Rumi even came out there and had her cute little moments, being excited to finally be part of the show. Child, I know Rumi was bugging their ass to death trying to get on that show. If you a little sibling or even a middle child and you see your older sibling getting to do something every time and you don't, baby, I know she worked their nerves to death to try to be a part of the show every night. Mama, I want to be on the show. Mama, I can't do it. Blue, I get to do it. Mama, I can't. Child, they didn't let Rumi come on now. She comes and while Beyonce sings and Blue is there as a part of the routine, Rumi waves, gets excited, and then they carry her on backstage. Okay, everybody working, and I love it. So overall, I had a great experience. I highly, if you do not have tickets and you don't want to go, I totally understand. People always talking about this might be her last tour. I doubt it, but Beyonce is getting into her mid-40s. So I'm a believer of if you have a favorite artist or you want to at least see somebody perform, you better do it before they stop. Because some people don't keep going until the end of time. Some just stop doing that. Look at Rihanna. Ain't no concerts. So I highly recommend going to see this show. For many, many reasons, but overall, it was just a good damn time. Let me know your thoughts about it though. If you have tickets, if you plan to go, or if you just go, just chill out and watch from social media like a lot of people. Hit me up. Let me know your thoughts. You can find me at Kennelia on social media. Another thing that people, specifically Black people, have been looking forward to in these very trying times was this year's Met Gala. And only because the theme of the gala for 2025 was super fine, tailoring Black styles, which focused on dandy, the idea of dandyism. Now I'm going to read what that means in a second for people who don't necessarily know, but historically and over the years, the Met Gala it's a space where we sometimes go, and it's very, of course, it's very fashion and costume heavy and specific, but it's not something that we as Black people be really itching to be a part of. But as you all know, over the last few months, with the attack on Black people, Black culture, Black art, museums, Black history, books, just overall sense of safety and belonging in this country has been under the microscope and being, again, attacked is the best word for it. I'm finding, and like many of you, that we are looking forward to opportunities to really shine and to find joy and to essentially just flex on these you know who's. Okay. Going back to, once again, I said this before. I honestly feel like we are in a moment of a new Black renaissance, and these moments like this add to it. They may not be as significant as some other moments, but they definitely add to it, especially when you talk about the conversation of how Black people are the culture bearers in American society and in the scope of the world. Because don't get it twisted, Black culture is pop culture across the globe. That's a fact. Down to style, fashion, music, influence, you name it. We are the culture bearers. But when it comes to fashion specifically, there ain't nothing you can tell me to make me believe that Black people are not the premier beings when it comes to influence. And the Met Gala, especially this year, was an opportunity to showcase that, but to honor Black fashion from years past and legacy. So, dandyism, because again, the theme was around that idea. Dandyism in fashion refers to a style categorized by a meticulous attention to clothing and grooming with the aim of making a statement about one's identity and individuality. It's about more than just looking good. It's a form of self expression, often rooted in defiance, resistance, and pride. Hell, that's Black people styling. Now, key aspects of dandyism: it allows individuals to express their personality and identity through their choice of clothes, accessories, and overall style. Again, it can be a way of asserting dignity and challenging negative stereotypes. It emphasizes sharp tailoring, polished shoes, and other details that convey a sense of elegance and refinement. Think of like the early 1900s going up until whenever the baggy clothes era started. When you think of sharp tailoring and finely tailored zoot suit and the Harlem Renaissance with those sharp tuxedos, that is a form of dandyism. Even more recently, Dapper Dan has been really involved in the Met Gala. He wasn't one of the co-chairs, which were Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, ASAP Rocky, and Pharrell. But Dapper Dan and his style and the influence that he had, that could be a form of dandyism. So he was heavily involved in this. But though that idea is what people brought to the red carpet of the Met Gala this past weekend, or not weekend, but on Monday. So some of the best looks of the night, and feel free to go online and look these up. If you've been on social media, you've probably seen some of these flying around. Jodie Turner Smith, who had a beautiful like burgundy outfit that was early 1900s Black equestrian inspired. Fantastic. And she always kill and shut it down. Baby Damson Idris show. Ooh, let me tell you something. Ooh, you listen. Ooh, I got a list of fine Black men. And I got the list. Damson was on the list. But after yesterday, it's something about beautiful Black men in elegantly and exquisitely tailored suits that fall the way that they need to fall, that sit on their particular build the way it needs to. It's something about that just takes that person up a gazillion notches. Damson showed up in a race car inspired like outfit where his he had a rhinestone helmet on and a race car, like a baggy race car outfit because he's promoting a movie that he's in with Brad Pitt that's coming out this summer called F1. Maybe they ripped the outfit on. He had this burgundy, like maroon-ish suit on, Tommy Hilfiger, and took the studded helmet off. Baby, mug down. Okay. Woo, I said, who? Okay. Mugged down. Lupita Nyong'o was in Prada, and one of her signature colors, she really likes that light bluish, tealish color. Looked very dapper for the moment. Tiana Taylor was styled by the legendary Ruth E. Carter, Hampton alum, two-time Oscar winner for costuming, just worked on Sinners. And again, when you think about dandyism, Sinners, people kept referring to Sinners and saying they wanted Michael B. Jordan to show up on the carpet as Smoking Stack because that was a form of dandyism in their opinion. But Ruth helped Tiana Taylor design a rose-inspired zoot suit. She shut it down. Fantastic look. Janelle Monáe, who always delivers on the red carpet, always comes with the theatrics. And she was styled by the first Black male costume designer to win an Academy Award. He just won for Wicked, Paul Tazewell. So between him and Ruth, baby, shut it down because the looks was looking. Tessa Thompson came through as always. I love Tessa Thompson. This is why I love Tessa Thompson. In Hollywood, and as a view, as a somebody who is in the business, it is very easy to see how people get typecast or boxed in, or who are not allowed to flex their talent and be creative in ways that align with them and what they want. It is very easy to find yourself being typecast and always kind of pushed into the same type of project, or to not even be casted at all. It's people out here who we love who just ain't working. They're not working. Or it's people who we fan cast for things like, oh, they'd be so good in this. Baby, they wouldn't get them looks because the studio's going to studio and they going to go and with who they want to go with. And they don't care. And it sucks. But Tessa Thompson has had a very diverse career, and she has done some projects where you just are excited that she or just any Black woman would have had those opportunities. Not to say we should be at the mercy of studios, but you want to work, you want to do good work. And Tessa has had that career, and she be styled down. Ain't heard a bad thing about her. Everybody that I've ever talked to have said she is nothing but the nicest woman. So I love me some Tessa Thompson. And those were just some of the looks. A lot of people were there, like usual. Cardi B, Angel Reese, Savannah James showed up. LeBron was supposed to come, but he hurt his knee. ASAP Rocky, I mentioned, he was one of the co-chairs. There was just all kind of people. Lauren Hill, you name it, they were probably there. But one of the biggest shockers, and not so shockers because people seem to have predicted this ahead of time, was Rihanna announcing unofficially by showing up with her baby bump that she is pregnant with her third child. So congratulations to Rihanna. Child, I don't know how people should be keeping these secrets. Girl, just pop out with the bump. Okay. It has to be exhausting, but she looked adorable. Her and ASAP seemed like they're really excited. And so, I'm just really, happy. And I was overall pleased. Some people, I'm not a fashion head. So some people were all over social talking about the looks wasn't really hitting and they expected more and more colors and all of these things. Honestly, I'm just happy that we got to flex. And that with everything that's going on and these very stressful times, and it being attacks left and right, us not knowing what's coming, and just this level of uncertainty. Also adding Kerry Washington look good too. Add her to the list. It's nice to have something fun to do. And that's for a good cause, because the Met Gala is a fundraiser for the Costume Institute. I believe that's what the Metropolitan Costume Institute. So it's just nice to have somewhere, something to look forward to. And some people were saying that they were hoping that, or this sparked an idea of maybe we should have some type of gala like this for the Black History Smithsonian Museum, since it's under attack and funding is probably going to be an issue. So hopefully, more of these things start to arise. But I would add this to the list of the Black Renaissance moments of present day. Did you all watch and see some of the looks? Did you have an opinion? Who was your favorites? Who was best dressed in your eyes? Let me know. Hit me up with your thoughts. You can find me at Kennelia on social media. Also want to just give a quick shout out to Jalen Hurts and some of the other Philadelphia Eagles for not feeling the need to go to the White House this past week to celebrate their Super Bowl win. They have scheduling conflicts. Well, I don't care what that means. I do not care, baby. I could have been feeding my cat. I just want to say shout out to Jalen Hurts. Shout out to you, my brother. Congratulations to him. Him and his lovely now wife are married. They were also at the Met Gala looking very fantastic. Beautiful couple, child. Couples just be attractive. Some people, I've dated some ugly mugs. I'm going to keep it real. Listen, I don't think I dated a fine man since like 2009. But it is really nice to see just beautiful couples. Okay. It's really enjoyable. So I hope he get all the favor shines down on him. And whether he didn't attend that event that I just mentioned because he is in line with the collective thinking around things or not, I really don't care. I'm proud of that brother for feeling like he could do what he needed to do. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm sure some of y'all feel the same, but if not, let me know. You know where to find me. I'm at Kennelia on social media. On this week's episode of Black News, we talked about my Cowboy Carter concert experience, getting last minute tickets, club hoedown, and Beyonce essentially reclaiming genre in American culture. Also talked about this year's Met Gala with the theme Superfine Tailoring Black Style that focused on dandyism, some of the attendees, and the best looks. Hit me up. Let me know your thoughts about all of these topics, some or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again for supporting the podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing, and rating 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. To find more information about me, you can check me out at Kennelia on social media, as well as on my website, which is Kennelia.com. And as always, thanks for supporting, and I'll be back next week with new topics and a new episode.